Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and ITY video. I have with me today Antti Reijonen. He is Forcepoint's Vice President of Solutions, Cloud Access and Network Security. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Alex.
Now, we're here today at Forcepoint's 2018 APAC Partner Conference, Day 2, and we'll speak about that in a moment. But you're one of Forcepoint's longest serving executives with like a 20-year history in the world of security. And you joined when you were acquired by Intel, but can you tell us a little bit about your journey in the security space, which has clearly grown in ever greater importance for the world economy today?
Well, I mean, I joined the security space on the times of the antivirus software, which was pretty much the center of security in those times.
When viruses were just annoyances, not the destructive, crazy things.
Correct. It was at that time turning from attention seeking to profit seeking, and the whole cyber criminal side just has kept on professionalizing ever since. The landscape has widened broadly, and the attention that the security matters have in companies, executives and board level has never been as great as it is now. And it's much more turning to business discussion also internally.
Sure.
I mean, the boards understand risk, they understand strategy, they don't understand security posture. So the security industry is now challenged to explain to the boards what is the strategy, what are the risks to accept, and what are the risks to then invest for mitigation.
And I mean, your heritage in security is strong. You've worked at F-Secure, you were at Stonesoft and McAfee days. I mean, tell us a little bit about some of the amazing things you've seen on that journey.
Well, certainly the Stonesoft business was originally a Finland-based security company.
Another Finnish technology. I mean, we all know Nokia, of course.
Correct.
Yeah.
Stonesoft was the smaller of those two.
Yeah.
And the technology was so solid that it did attract the attention of American security company McAfee, who then acquired Stonesoft some years back. But after some internal restructuring, McAfee decided to divest this another firewall line of business, and we were lucky then to join Forcepoint and Forcepoint's mission of creating the human-centric cybersecurity. So certainly I have seen the technology base and that high quality engineering now coming to the world market as part of Forcepoint, which has been very, very pleasant journey to be part with.
Now, today's day 2 of the cybersecurity conference, partner conference, and you were in a panel session with an APAC view of cybersecurity. You had an industry speaker, you had a customer, and yourself. So can you please just sum up what was discussed during that last panel session?
Yeah, we had very fortunate to have a representative of law enforcement, representative of an enterprise security, and a consultant advisory role person with me on a panel. So the viewpoints were nicely varying there. The common themes were around the risk management of cybersecurity, about how to communicate internally the risk, how to communicate internally the value, and then the vendor landscape and the partner landscape in the audience got good advice on engagement particularly. Be there, be often, have a point of view, be helpful, be advising, don't just be pushing products. And as Forcepoint, we have really taken that to heart already in our work. When we develop technology, we also develop what is the operational model, how that can be applied in customer organizations.
Now, I was wondering what for you have been the most noteworthy points of the conference thus far, and what's some of the feedback been from your partners here?
I mean, the partners here, like in our other partner conferences in America and Europe, I mean, they welcome the approach as fresh. They welcome that there is a cybersecurity company who says something different, who says something refreshing in terms of, hey, this might actually be the way forward. Because everybody's been struggling with the threat by threat, product by product approach that has created the situation where most enterprises run 50, 60, 70 cybersecurity products side by side, with a staff that is just not big enough to keep up with that.
You wonder how the infrastructure can handle so many disparate programs all trying to, in some cases probably protect against the same things.
Well, it was one of our panelists who mentioned that even piecing together an incident from the various sources of information and various security products is a very time-consuming task.
Yeah.
And time-consuming task, when you are short on resources and time is of essence for your response, is just not a very, very good thing. So the partners very much welcome the approach. We work with our partners hand in hand in telling the story to the prospective end customers, and then turning that to business opportunities for all of us.
Now, a lot of that was about the human-centric approach and the risk adaptive protection, which we saw on day one and which I've already spoken with one of your colleagues about, and there's plenty of information about that. But what are some of the other aspects of Forcepoint's products, solutions that you're looking after that need some more exposure?
Sure. So we launched here in APAC the dynamic data protection, which is our data leakage prevention analytics solution. In other part of the portfolio, we are very active in web security gateways, email security gateways, cloud access security brokers, and then on next-gen firewalls, which was the business that brought me into the company.
Into the fold, yeah.
Yeah. In this part of the portfolio, we see a big change how companies adapt these technologies from the perspective of cloud application adoption. As companies take more cloud and SaaS applications into use, the more that results in rethinking of the security stack and even the network architectures. We have been turning our solution portfolio and offering to match those transformations and help customers to implement security in the new types of network architectures and new type of security setups, while each of these ones are working increasingly as part of the human point system. Each of these ones are sensors and enforcement points of human behaviors and resulting enforcement actions, and work together with our analytics.
And obviously this human-centric approach is a forward-thinking, new way of doing things. But I always like to ask about, the future. If you were to imagine 10 years into the future, how do you think the security industry and the threats landscape and everything will look like then? Crystal ball stuff, I know, but...
I mean, 10 years in IT is a very long time.
It is.
We stopped making 10-year roadmaps long time ago. But in all fairness, there's no indication that the problem would be going away.
No.
The society's dependency on IT, the society's dependency of communications is increasing.
Only growing,
There's no turning back. The virtualization of infrastructure, that will just progress further and further. And we see ubiquitous connectivity very soon, which actually is pretty fundamental change in computing and networking, when you can build things to be real-time online from the get-go and assume that is the case. So these fundamental shifts are not making the security any easier. On the contrary, they're making it more challenging. So security industry is a good place for innovators to continue to innovate. This is by means not ready, and a great career option for people interested in this type of innovative work.
I was just thinking, if young people watching are wondering what industry to get in, cybersecurity looks like one with a long future.
Yeah, this is a very dynamic industry with a lot of opportunities.
So look, just to change gears as we get towards the end of the interview, I always like to ask the people I'm interviewing if they could please share the best piece of advice that you've received to help you get where you are today.
Well, I mean, I've been fortunate to working with very different types of managers over the years, and maybe my advice is that don't stuck with one boss too long, because from different people you learn very different thing. Maybe I still after all go to my father actually on the advice front. He was a shopkeeper of a hardware store in Finland as a kind of a franchise type of operation, but the chain then advertised the franchise operations with the Finnish saying that roughly translates like competence comes from entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
So when you really have the willing to try, you actually learn whatever you need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid of new things, don't be afraid of difficult things. If you have the will, you'll actually learn it.
Yeah, I think I've heard similar saying, don't wait for perfection, just start, because that's the most important thing. So what's your final message to IT Wire viewers and readers and to your current and future customers and partners?
Now take a look at Forcepoint. There's now a cybersecurity company with the point of view that actually is interesting, refreshing, and might actually be a very much a way forward for our customers and prospects and partners.
Well, Antti, thank you very much for your time. I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the conference and talk to you again.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for having me.